Have you ever worked somewhere so quiet that the silence starts to feel alive? Where every flicker of light and distant creak feels like a warning? That was my life for months-long empty nights spent guarding a building that never truly slept. I thought I knew loneliness. I thought I knew fear. But one night, I learned that real fear doesn't announce itself. It waits. It watches. It follows you when you think you're alone. This is a true story, one I wish I could forget. I used to work nights as a security guard in a medium-sized corporate office building in New Jersey. During the day, it was bustling, filled with employees hurrying to meetings, the smell of coffee, the faint tap of keyboards, and the endless buzz of fluorescent lights. But at night, it transformed into something else entirely. It became a hollow shell of its daytime self, cold, empty, and eerily silent. Most nights were simple. I would arrive around 10, check the security monitors, make my rounds every hour, and log any unusual incidents. I liked the solitude at first. There was a strange kind of comfort in knowing that the building was mine to watch over. The hum of the air conditioning, the occasional squeak of a chair, even the distant clang of the elevators had a rhythm I could get used to. But one night shattered that sense of calm forever. It started just after midnight. The last employees had left hours ago, and the lobby was quiet except for the glow of the security monitors on my desk. I sipped my cold coffee and flipped between the CCTV feeds, the elevators, stairwells, hallways, and the underground garage. Everything appeared normal, too normal. And then I saw it. A figure moving between the parked cars in the lower garage. At first, I thought it was a reflection or some trick of the camera. But as I zoomed in on the feed, the figure became clearer. It was a person, wearing an oversized dark coat, moving slowly and deliberately. They carried no equipment, wore no uniform, and certainly didn't belong there. The garage should have been empty. Only employees with 24-hour access could be in that area, and I knew no one had it that night. A chill ran down my spine, my chest tightened. My fingers hovered over the radio. "Supervisor, I think there's someone in the garage," I said, trying to keep my voice steady. There was a pause on the other end, then a sigh. "Stay at your post. Keep watching the cameras. Don't go down there alone." I should have listened. I knew I should have stayed put. But my gut screamed otherwise. Something about the way that figure moved, deliberate, patient, almost aware, made my skin crawl. I grabbed my flashlight and keys, my hand shaking more than I wanted to admit. The elevator ride down was agonizingly slow. Each floor's chime reverberated through the shaft, echoing in a way that made my heart pound. I tried to steady my breathing, counting silently, hoping it would make the seconds pass faster. When the doors finally opened, the garage stretched before me like a cavern. The smell of oil and concrete dust filled my nostrils. My flashlight beam cut a thin path through the darkness, glinting off polished windshields, chrome trim, and concrete pillars. "Hello? Security here," I called, my voice sounding absurdly loud. Only the echo replied. I moved cautiously down the aisle, shining the light into every shadow. I checked behind cars, near the stairwell, around the maintenance room. Nothing. Empty. Not a single sign of movement. I exhaled slowly, trying to convince myself I'd been imagining it. A glitch, a trick of the shadows. Then I returned to my desk and looked at the monitor. He was back, standing in the exact same spot as before, motionless, waiting. My stomach dropped. My blood ran cold. I had just been down there. I had searched every corner. There was no way he could have returned so quickly, unless he had been hiding, watching me the entire time. I radioed my supervisor again. He's still there. I checked. The garage is empty. And now, he's back. Keep watching the cameras, came the reply, calm and frustratingly unhelpful. Backup is on the way. 20 minutes crawled by like hours. I couldn't tear my eyes from the feed. The figure moved again, this time toward the stairwell leading to the upper floors. He paused, glanced over his shoulder, as if to ensure I was still watching. Then, just before reaching the door, he disappeared from the feed. I switched frantically between cameras, stairwells, elevators, hallways. Nothing. Silence. The building felt impossibly empty, yet every shadow seemed to pulse with potential danger. My chest tightened, and the hairs on the back of my neck stood up. And then I heard the elevator. The familiar ding echoed through the lobby. I froze, my pulse hammering in my ears. The doors slid open. Empty. But on the polished floor were wet footprints, bare feet, leading across the tiles. He was inside. I called the off-site patrol again, voice trembling. They said 5 minutes. 5 minutes that felt like a lifetime. I considered barricading myself in the lobby, hiding until they arrived. But something compelled me to move. I had to know. The 5th floor. With my flashlight in hand, I rode the elevator up. The doors opened into the dim hallway. Emergency lights cast long, angular shadows. The air was thick, almost heavy, and smelled faintly of cleaning supplies and dust. I moved slowly, checking each office door. Locked. Then one caught my eye. A door slightly ajar, a sliver of darkness visible. It should have been locked hours ago. I pushed it open. Empty. A desk, a computer in sleep mode, paper scattered, but no one inside. Then I heard it. Footsteps. Wet, deliberate, growing closer. My heart leapt into my throat. I swung the flashlight down the hall and saw him, the dark coat. Standing at the end, watching. Not running, not panicked, but moving with calm, deliberate purpose. I bolted toward the stairwell. The handrail slammed against my arm as I stumbled down the concrete steps. Footsteps echoed behind me, following, closer, faster. I crashed through a door onto the lower floor, slammed it shut, and sank against it, gasping for breath. Silence. For the first time, I realized this was no prank. This was no mistake. This was real. He had been inside, following me, hiding just out of view. I pressed my ear against the stairwell door, straining to hear any sound. The echo of my own heartbeat filled the empty space, louder than anything else. For a long moment, there was nothing, no footsteps, no movement, only the low hum of the emergency lights above. I took a slow, shallow breath, trying to calm the panic rising in my chest. But I knew it was futile. Something had been following me. Something was in the building, and the thought of it still stalking the halls was more terrifying than anything I had ever imagined. Minutes passed, or maybe it was seconds. Time had lost all meaning. Finally, I crept toward the elevator shaft, flashlight sweeping every shadow, every corner. The building was quiet, deceptively so. Every creak, every distant echo made me jump. I felt eyes on me even when I saw nothing. The off-site patrol arrived shortly after. I could hear their radio chatter in the lobby, the faint clatter of boots on tile. I descended to meet them, shaking and drenched in sweat. My hands trembled as I explained what I had seen. They nodded, professional, but even in their calm, I could sense tension. They had seen strange things before, they said, but nothing quite like what I described. Together, we began a systematic search, floor by floor, office by office. Each stairwell creaked ominously under our weight. Each hallway stretched endlessly, The garage was empty. Completely. The wet footprints were gone. And the CCTV footage from the critical minutes, the ones where I had seen him, had been corrupted. A perfect gap where his presence should have been. Someone or something had made sure that no evidence remained. As we searched, I kept replaying the image in my mind. The dark coat, the deliberate, purposeful gait, the way he had paused and looked over his shoulder like he expected me to notice. The thought that he had been inside all along, hiding just out of view, sent shivers down my spine. I tried to rationalize it. Perhaps it had been a late worker. Perhaps someone had gained unauthorized access. But no explanation fit. The patience, the precision, the way he had vanished so suddenly. Nothing made sense. By the time the search was complete, I was pale and trembling. The building, once familiar, now felt like a maze designed to trap me. The patrol left, assuring me that they would increase monitoring and security, but I couldn't stay. Not another night. I handed in my resignation the following week. Fear had taken root in a way I couldn't shake. Walking the hallways alone, checking the stairwells, looking down the garage aisles, each step felt like stepping into a predator's gaze. Even years later, the memory follows me. Parking garages, empty office buildings, the hum of fluorescent lights in the deserted corridor all trigger that same surge of adrenaline. I'd check over my shoulder constantly, imagining the long dark coat rounding a corner, wet footsteps echoing just behind me. The memory of that night isn't just fear. It's a lesson in vigilance, in instinct, in the reality that danger can be human, deliberate, and invisible. It's the realization that safety is an illusion. Locked doors, CCTV monitors, security protocols, they may slow a predator, but they cannot stop someone who knows how to remain unseen. I think about him often. Not daily, not constantly, but enough that the thought lingers, gnaws at me. What did he want it? How did he get in? Was he just a random opportunist? Or had he been planning this for a long time? The uncertainty is worse than the memory itself. I know now that it wasn't supernatural. It wasn't a trick of the mind or a reflection in a camera. It was real. A stalker. A human being capable of moving silently, watching patiently, and vanishing without a trace. And the knowledge that such a person exists, that he could be anywhere, waiting, makes my blood run cold even now. The final terrifying truth is this: even if he never comes back, even if nothing ever happens again, I will never feel truly alone in a building at night. The long coat, the wet footsteps, the patient, measured movements, they exist in my memory like a shadow that refuses to leave. And I know that some fears never fade, because some dangers are human, unseen, and unrelenting. The building is still there. I could walk past it today and see nothing unusual. It looks safe, ordinary, almost mundane. But I know better. I know that inside its walls, someone had once moved silently, waiting, watching, and that the gap in the CCTV footage will always remind me that I may never fully understand what happened or why. And that is a fear that never truly goes away.